Out of the 15 neighborhoods, an average of only 2 persons were returned. In the holy city. Now the interesting thing is, ladies don't get mad, they were all returned by men. Both were returned. The majority of men were the ones that returned these purses. They were the ones that called the call numbers that I found your purse here, so I'm returning it. So I don't know if that says anything about it. Maybe if it would have been a wallet, it would have been different. Now, there was another experiment conducted. Another one is done. Now, this one was done with cell phones. And this one wasn't done in just one city. They did it in a bunch of cities around the world. What they did is they went and dropped cell phones in random places. Malls, stores, hospitals. They went and dropped just random places they dropped cell phones to see who would return them. And they wanted to find out which was the most honest city in the world. They didn't give the whole list of all the cities they dropped the cell phones in. But number one, you guys want to take a guess? No. You guys want to take a guess which one was the most honest city in the world? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't in the U.S. Is that shocking? No? Okay. Well, it was in the capital city of Slovenia. Out of the 30 cell phones that were dropped there, 27 were returned.
Oh, amen.
27 cell phones were returned. Number 2, want to hear what was the second most honest city? It's getting closer to home now. Still not here though. Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Canada. Last place. You guys are getting scared, huh? You guys want me to say Longview? But it wasn't Longview. Hong Kong. A very few number were returned. And as I was doing this research, I continued to find different stuff on the internet of different tests that were done to see to test people's integrity. There was one that they did in California where a news reporter dropped his wallet. And he left it there and he just stood off to see how many people. And you know, to be honest, I was shocked. The majority of people returned the wallet. Except for one man who gently went and sat down by where the wallet was, kind of acted like dropped his keys, picked up his wallet and took off. He didn't return or call to return the wallet. But what about us? Now, see, integrity goes beyond returning something that is not yours. Integrity goes beyond honesty. There's a slight difference there. Integrity is also very instilled in the Christian mind. See, I went to an evangelistic training meeting, and I met a man there who was very excited for the Lord, who was on fire for preaching. He's like, man, I'm so excited. I wanted to hear this testimony. I was like, man, go ahead and tell me what's your testimony, man? You're on fire. Don't you meet some people like that? You just want to know why they're so on fire, why they're just ready to preach. So he started telling me his testimony. He's like, you know what? I owe it all to a young man. I have my own company. I have a construction company. And he said, and I was actually out of workers. I couldn't find any more workers. So I started going around to the different places where I saw people that I could ask if I went looking for workers. And now somebody did that to us and came and said, hey, I'm looking for a worker. Well, he said, I walked into this little store, and I saw a young man there. He looked strong. He looked like he could be a good worker for me. And I said, introduced myself, started a conversation. He said, do you have a job? And he said, no, I'm actually looking for a job. I said, well, I do construction. Do you know anybody? Have any experience? And actually, I do. I said, great. Well, actually, I have my own company, and I'm looking for employees. I want to get my company started again. So they started talking about it. Great, we'll meet. This is my schedule. This is how it works. This is how much I pay. They got it all figured out. But the young man said, but one thing. He said, I don't work on Sabbath. The man was taken back a little bit and said, well, let me explain to you. My company, Sabbath is our busiest day. That's the day we make the most money. And let me tell you, if you want that overtime money, that's the day you want to work. You can work all day, get that all extra cash for you, just for you. You don't want to miss out on Sabbath. He said, you don't understand. I don't work on Sabbath. That is out of the question. So, well, why is that? I said, well, that's the day I go to church. That's the day I dedicated to God. That's the day I set aside for my God and me only. You know, I met a lot of, it was happening to me before, even a while back. A lot of times, even just a Sabbath question, we don't want to say why we worship. We say, oh, that's just my family time. But we make up other excuses when it is a direct chance for us to witness. It's happened to me before. I say it because it's happened to me before. When I was young and my friends would ask me, how come you can't do this on Sabbath? I would just say, oh, just my parents won't let me. But how many times we may use that excuse instead of giving the credit to God? Instead of saying the real reason why we don't do these things on Sabbath. The man said he was taken back so much by this young man, by his integrity, by his will to stand, even at the sight of not gaining this job, when he didn't have a job at the moment. So he found out what church he went to. Just randomly, he called the pastor. And he said, I want to come visit your church. 3 weeks later, he was getting baptized. And as the pastor was giving a Bible study, as he's finishing the baptismal study, he asked him, why did you call my church? How did you get a hold of us? What about our church made you want to be here? And he explained to him the whole story. And he said, there was something in that young man that I want. The way he stood for what he believed is something I want. You see, he told the pastor, I've been looking for all kinds of churches. I've looked through all religions. I've been visiting others. I'm really trying to find my way. And I visited many other ones. But what that young man had that day is something that I want. It's something that I believe, he said, every Christian. Something they can stand on. You see, integrity is something you and I can stand on and not be. Young people, listen up a little bit. I'm going to give you a little message. Standing up for what you believe in these times is not the easiest thing. Standing up for what you believe, sometimes you will lose friends. Sometimes you will be ridiculed. Sometimes you will be made fun of. Sometimes you will be rejected for standing up for what you believe. You see, standing up for God at times can be hard. You may lose family members even. You may lose a job. You may lose a boyfriend, a girlfriend. You may lose an opportunity at a sport because they play on Saturday. But let me tell you, God has something greater. Amen. The way you stand for God and when you do it, oh, let me tell you, he's got something. Say, I got something so much better. I got something so much better. Just hang on in. There's a reason why it will be the young people, the youth, who will finish off the work. Because the energy, the integrity that they will have will be something that will carry the church on to Jesus' second coming. Amen? Amen. This man is now preaching for the Adventist church. He now devotes his time, his money, and his company's needs to help others to reach to Christ. Because of one young man's testimony, integrity. Now, the young man didn't sit down and give him a whole Bible study on the Sabbath. He didn't pull out Daniel Revelation. He didn't sit down and tell him about tithing. He didn't tell him about sanctuary. He didn't have to give him a Bible study at the moment. See, a lot of times we think that by reaching others, we have to know our Bible back and forth, which is very good. It's important to know that. We forget and to realize that one of the most important things is our character and our integrity that speaks more loudly than even a doctrine. One of the biggest stories in the Bible, examples of integrity, is Job. You know, the word integrity is mentioned more times in the Bible and referred to Job. And it's not referred to any other character more than it is to Job. We have the story of Job. Had everything, right? Had it all. Great family, money, possessions, everything a man could ask for. Now let's go really quick to see how Job's integrity played out in the Bible. Let's go to Job chapter 2, verse 3.